Ooh, my hair is crazy. Good morning. Good morning. It's such a weird morning. I'm just, yeah. It's just a weird morning for me. Not accustomed to this type of morning. It's not a bad morning per se, but it's just weird. It's a different kind of morning than I'm used to. Okay. So welcome to my channel. Hello. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time finding me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So right now I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for the collective whole. I asked the collective energies what this reading is going to be about. And what I was told is they're going to try and shame you, but tell them to SFTU and keep rising. Just keep rising, okay? So this is about resistance. This is about you experiencing a considerable amount of resistance to whatever it is you're trying to process, okay? Whatever it is you're trying to do for yourself, you're going to experience resistance. And what have I said in so many other lives, so many other readings? We've always talked about how resistance is a very thing that actually grows you. It increases your stamina. It increases your growth potential. So we welcome resistance. Oh, good God. Oh, that's one hell of an image. That is one hell of an image. Let's go ahead and just keep pulling. Just keep pulling. All right. So, oh my gosh. You got sparks coming out your ears. It's looking like you about ready. You're about ready. Ooh wee. All right. Ooh. There we go. Whew. Man. How are you guys feeling? How is everyone feeling right now? Are you guys like kind of at a point where you're able to take in all of this energy update info and successfully utilize it? Like take it, see how it fits, and then do something productive with it? Does it make you feel frustrated? Why do you feel frustrated? What makes you feel so frustrated? For those of you who feel frustrated, what makes you feel frustrated? Overloading. So that's a very important thing, okay? That's actually a part of what this reading is about. That's one of the ways that we experience resistance, when you become overloaded. When you become overloaded, it becomes very difficult to process. If you're trying to take care of everything all at once, then absolutely you're going to struggle. You're going to experience frustration, depletion, all of that. Let me just. Okay. Ooh, I'm feeling some kind of way right now. Are y'all feeling that too? I'm feeling some kind of way. What is this? Maybe I'm ovulating or something. I don't know. If that's TMI for you, then, you know, you ain't going to be able to handle the rest of the reading. I'm just saying. If me stating that I'm ovulating is TMI, you're not going to be able to handle this reading. Click off, because things are about to get real funky real quick. Here we go. Let's get started. Let's go. I'm ovulating. I am. I did. I said I'm ovulating. Got me all like, yeah. Stop. You're making me blush now. Let me just take a moment to sip some coffee. No, gassy isn't TMI. It might mean that you're talking too much, though. That's what my mom always used to tell me. She's like, you talk too much. You need to learn to be quiet or else you're going to have gas. I don't know the validity of that statement, but that's what she used to tell me. But she would only say that if I was speaking truth, dropping truth bombs on her. She didn't want to hear it. I'm just saying. All right, so here goes. Card number 28, sacrifice. What can you let go of? And here's the thing. Empaths, as empaths, we typically try and let go of the things that we need, that we personally need. Yet we hold on to the things that really we don't need to hold on to. We just hold on to those things for other people. Martyrdom, that's what that's called. So if you experience martyrdom on a regular basis, and martyrdom is something you choose to do. It's not something someone else does to you. So if you're new to me and my work, no, everything will always be brought back to you. This is not about enabling your sense of victimhood. Everything that happens in your life, you have a major role to play in that, okay? Oh, to answer the question, STFU means shut the fuck up. I love the fact you gave me a reason to drop an F-bomb. Anyways, so a sacrifice, okay? What are you sacrificing? What are you choosing to sacrifice? Components necessary for your growth? Or are you now recognizing sometimes the things you need to sacrifice, the things you need to let go of are the dead weight, the things that cause you to not appreciate yourself, the things that make you feel as though you're less than, you deserve less than, you should be depleted, that you should be thankful that someone is allowing you to deplete yourself for their preference. You know what I'm saying? So this, I mean, soul is just, it's early in the morning, so you calling us out already. Already we're getting called out. So card number 14, Golden Crown. Card number 14. I don't know if I said card or crown. Card number 14, Golden Crown. A lot of that Christ consciousness energy is coming in. Golden energy has a tendency to come from Christ consciousness. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, the individual, the historical individual, allegedly historical individual that is labeled as the Christ is actually just an ambassador from a consciousness, a group consciousness called the Christos, the Christ consciousness. This consciousness is coming back in droves here on this planet. People who are religious say, Christ promised to come back. Christ did come back as many, many children and continues to be born as so many of the new children, okay? So with their birth, with their arrival here on earth, see, look at this. More and more are being born. With their arrival here on earth, the amount of frequency that's being housed on this earth plane right now continues to rise. And with that rise of frequency, Gaia is able to further release herself from the phase lock that occurred so long ago, all right? The reason many of us struggle with our ascension process is because of the laws of reciprocal reflection, because of what was done to Gaia intentionally. A bunch of seals were placed on key locations, and these seals phase lock her into lower dimensional frequencies. It prevents her from rising up. And because of the laws of reciprocal reflection, we reflect whatever state Gaia is in, just like Gaia reflects whatever state we're in. So it phase locked many, many, many generations of human consciousness. And now all of this is being undone. The sacrifice that was done, no more. No more of that. No more of that. Gaia is no longer going to do that. We are no longer going to do that as well. Exactly. Fear and guilt. There's a lot of manipulation going on. It's been going on for a very long time. But now, so many of us are entering a phase of our consciousness where we are becoming aware once again, becoming aware of what has been done to us, the amount of suppression, oppression, separation, all of that. We're becoming very much aware of it, and we're no longer willing to take it. Even those who are not consciously aware, you're taking in this energy, this frequency, and suddenly the things that you would be like, oh, it's fine. Now you're like, the hell? What the hell? So, anyone comes on this channel demanding things from me, immediate block, immediate ban. You will not trample on my sovereignty. Bottom line, you will not attempt to dominate me or my space. Bottom line, no exceptions. Immediate ban, I will not unban. So card number 31, faith. You have to have faith in your rebirthing. This is what's going on right now. You are being challenged. Not only are you being challenged to grow, you're being challenged to finally open your eyes to what you have allowed to be done to you. Now, does this mean because you allowed it, this is what you deserve? No. This means it's now time to take your rightful place as a king or queen of your auric kingdom and not allow interlopers to dictate to you as a royal, to dictate to you how to live your life. Just like that motherfucker right there tried to dictate to me how to run my own channel. You will not be unblocked, because as a queen of this space right here, recognize who the fuck you're addressing. Okay? So a lot of this growth will happen in the shadows. A lot of this growth will happen in the shadows and will be something that you might not be fully conscious of. It might be something that you'll only realize in hindsight. Because as they say, hindsight is always 20/20, right? And that's okay. That's okay. And as they also say, there's no manual, there's no book of how to live life. Well, because that's a living book. You are the manual. Once you've made the decisions and you've lived and had the experiences, you now have the rules and regulations for whatever that was you experienced. You are a living book. Okay? You are a living book. No one gets to write your story but you. No one gets to edit your story but you. You are the author, the editor, and the publisher of this book, of this story. So have faith in what it is you're creating. Sometimes all you have to do is kind of just close your eyes and lean back into your greatness. It's as easy as that. We make it into something so complicated, like you have to do XYZ for X amount of hours, and then you have to get certified in this, and then you have to be a master in that, and you have to take this course, and you have to have studied under this person. And what is that really? Nothing but ego-based external confirmation of something you already had internally. You just didn't want to acknowledge it because you've bought into the program that tells you you are not enough. You need someone outside of you who is an expert in their life, in whatever it is they're an expert of. And you're not an expert in yours. Let's put it this way, okay? Why would someone else be an expert of you if they haven't been there for every single circumstance in your life from birth until death that has helped to shape you, helped to form you, helped to determine the filters you use to figure out how you're going to perceive the events of your life? How are they an expert of you? being given the authority to tell you what to do, tell you how to feel, to dictate to you what's okay and what's not. And if you want to get like really technical about it, well, okay, so, medical field, I'm not really medically inclined. So yeah, the doctor kind of should have been able to tell me more about myself. No, the doctor has gone to school to figure out symptom presentation. What does this symptomatic presentation potentially mean? And if you're not going to put together all the pieces that they need to put your puzzle together, they're not going to be able to diagnose you. I'm living proof of this. Every single test, every single condition, every single symptom, it is, oh, we don't really know. You're an anomaly. Oh, the tests come back inconclusive. Here, pop these pills and, hopefully you don't hurt anymore. That's not someone who actually knows what's going on. Okay, so begin to take back your power, begin to take back that control, have faith in the fact that you can handle whatever it is you uncover about yourself. Whatever it is you uncover about yourself, it's something that you need to begin processing. Instead of being afraid, instead of trying to ignore it. Ignoring, avoidance is a surefire way to get whatever that circumstance is to amplify, to become much more of a struggle. And that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you that's wrong or that's bad. Sometimes you need that elevated level of struggle and suffering because you learn in a better way when you struggle and you suffer. Hey, I do that too, so I ain't even going to judge you. I do that too. So card number 43, lunar eclipse, change. Whew, there is a lot of internal revolution going on. You are experiencing an internal civil war. Ooh, spiritual coup d'etat is occurring. For those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now, you have been participating in a Phantom Matrix program. You have been part of a program that has caused you to bow down to the boots of your oppressors. And not only have you allowed yourself to have your power utilized by someone else, you've allowed yourself to believe that you're far less than what you actually are. And the royal within you is like, fuck this shit. I'm on my period, y'all. I'm really intense today. I'm just saying, I'm really intense today. You were like, fuck this shit. I'm not taking this shit no more. No more, ma'am. No more. And that's okay. That's okay. Reiteration. Card number 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. 99, 22. 73, 8, 27. Ooh. And then you have card number 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 and 7. Reiterations, mirroring, fractional mirroring, lunar eclipse, change. You are changing massive amounts of sections of your morphogenetic code. Okay, you might not be fully aware of what the process is that's going on, but change is occurring in shadow. You're going through all these phases, waxing and waning. You might even start to feel crazy, as though like, what? I don't even know what's going on with me. I feel like I'm becoming a different person, because you are. Card number 16, again, equaling 7. 7 being the number of completion. What you want wants you. Notice her hair rises up chaotically in a Fibonacci sequence, that golden ratio. Weaved into her hair in a stair-step fashion are pearls of wisdom. Hair being representative of your personal power. Your personal power is rising, allowing itself to be used like a ladder for you to climb back to your greatness. You can either climb back to your greatness, or you can allow yourself to remember your ass has wings. Every single last one of us is a hybridized angelic human. Every single last one of us is a hybridized angelic human. The Melchizedek coding was utilized to hybridize a terrestrial species. Let that sink in. Every single last one of us has etheric wings. So you can make it difficult for yourself and climb. That's perfectly fine, because you're going to build more muscle, the more resistance, the more muscle, the more stamina, the more appreciation for your personal strength. Or you can work smarter, not harder. You can just spread those wings and fly back up. Same difference. You go into the same place, back home to yourself. Okay? Back home to yourself, not to someone else, not to some foreign being sitting on a throne somewhere over there. Just saying. Just saying. I believe in divinity. I do. The work that I do, if you're not familiar with my work, I do a tremendous amount of various types of energy work. The work that I do, to me personally, is proof there is a divinity, something outside of myself that has allowed portions within myself to remain at an elevated state so that I could better serve humanity. For those who are questioning, no, my existence does not negate the existence of a God essence. It's proof of it. Fuck religion, though. I'm just saying, if you still need it, by all means, do what you need. I'm not judging you. But for me personally, no. And so card number 14, going beyond normal. It's time to go beyond normal. It's time for you to pause some of the things that you are saying internally. This is about an internal thing, okay? Internal thing, because the feeling that I'm getting, a lot of the resistance that you're going to experience is actually in here. Other people's recordings playing in here, telling you all kind of shit that you've heard from the time you were born up until this moment. You've been playing recordings of other people's words in your head. You're probably not aware of it. You're probably not aware of it. A lot of the opinions you have of yourself are recordings of other people's perceptions of you. And really, those perceptions they have of you have nothing to do with you and your truth. When someone needs a villain, regardless of whether you're villainous, is that a word? Or heroic. If they need a villain and you fit the bill, you're a villain. Does that make you a villain? No, it doesn't. You know, if someone needs to have, in their life movie, because it's like we're running a movie, each of us. If someone is needing to cast the role of a bitch and you're conveniently there, then you're the bitch. Does it have anything to do with you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Okay. So card number 14, going beyond normal, hush their fuss. Give yourself time to think. Allow the cogs of your consciousness to begin spinning. On every single level, you need to keep it together. Every single level and layer of your consciousness, you need to hold it together. Hold it together and allow yourself to begin processing your life. Allow it. Allow it, okay? There's a lot of things that happen to a lot of people that make them feel very disempowered, that make them feel very victimized. It's okay if you feel that way. It's okay if you're pissed off. The most beautiful thing about what I'm about to say right now is you're going to understand the gravity of what's being done, okay? If you feel pissed off, it's okay to feel pissed off. There's a lot of teachings that tell you, no, you should forgive. You shouldn't be angry. That being angry doesn't heal you. That crying doesn't, just accept it and forgive them and be the bigger person. I'm only 5'3". I cannot be the bigger person. Okay. I can only be so big. So yes, you do something to me and I'm pissed off, then I'm pissed the fuck off. Let me process it. And the reason I'm pissed off is not because of you. It's because I allowed you to think you had the authority and the power to do that shit to me. So it's not even you that I'm pissed off at. I'm pissed off because I gave away my sovereign power. Let that sink in. Why are you really mad? Why are you mad? And people don't want you to feel mad because they don't want you to recognize all this shit. The people who have done wrong to me, like, oh, she can't let it go. She can't move. Am I still mentioning your name, bitch? No, you irrelevant. I'm processing the events that occurred in my life. This is not about you. Stop trying to be relevant in my life. You are irrelevant. You've already delivered the messages that I needed, the circumstance that I needed to process my own behaviors. So remove yourself. That's why your name isn't mentioned. This is me, my process. And if you need me to like verbalize all of this for you to begin your process, then I will. Then I will. Because really, your self-healing is not about forgiving other. Forgiveness is a whole bunch of bullshit. I tell you that much right now. Forgiveness is a very thinly veiled finger in that disempowerment, separation, victimhood program. Let's check it out, okay? Forgiveness. Why do I say that? Forgiveness is so important. Forgiveness. Well, in order to reach a state of forgiveness, you have to first identify an aggressor and a victim. Do I identify as a victim? No. That alone, I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you because I'm taking ownership of my allowance of you to do this to me. What's there to forgive? On a soul level, you assisted me in learning this, creating this circumstance so that I could learn. You're nothing but a component in the lesson that I was teaching myself. Does that require forgiveness? No. It does require a recognition that if that person, whoever it is, if that's a part of their character, they don't need to keep coming back unless you need that tutor to keep teaching you the same fucking lesson. So if you need them to keep teaching you that lesson, by all means, keep coming back. Keep coming back. Let them keep coming back. Allow yourself to keep telling yourself that, hey, that's not compassionate, Emmie. Be the bigger person at only 5 freaking something foot tall. Be the bigger person. I'm not, there's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to forgive. And okay, so what if someone never apologizes to you? Are you going to hold that in? You're going to be like, well, they never apologized. What do they need to apologize for? You can't heal without their permission? Let that sink in. And if they never apologize, you need to be the bigger person and just forgive them, right? Because they don't know any better. Do you know any better? Let that sink in. Do you know any better? Because if you knew better, you wouldn't even continue to have them be a part of whatever it is you're trying to heal, because it's an internal thing that you're healing. It's an internal thing. If you continue to get triggered by something, then there's an aspect that triggering is trying to take you back to. There is a part of your history as an individual that you have glossed over. That triggering takes you back to that moment. Triggering is not about being offended. I mean, sometimes you get offended, but triggering, just like that, you're right back at that moment when a specific trauma that's being mirrored by that future event, you're right back at that previous trauma. Same chemical makeup in your brain, same everything, same emotions. If you've been mugged in the past and you see something violent occur in front of you, you're right there again, breathing difficult, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Well, because you're being triggered, because that's a trauma that needs to be addressed. It's not about the other person that's causing the triggering. It's about you allowing yourself to heal, having the courage to face your fears, because your fears are really nothing more than a way for your conscious mind to once again be aware of the things that you weren't prepared to process in that moment. And that's okay. That's okay if it takes you a few years to be ready to begin the process of processing. You do your spiritual journey in the timeline and the details that you choose. No one gets to tell you any other way to do this. And if people, this shit really pisses me off. If people try and shame you for the ways in which you choose to cope with your life's events, fuck them. I'm not even joking. Fuck them. No one gets to tell you that you're coping wrong. No one gets to tell you that you're not processing your grief properly. If they have a problem with your process, they can get the fuck out, for real. For real. If you're not intentionally harming other people, you need to be able to travel your spiritual path unmolested. Yep, that's it. That's it. No one gets to shame you for being a human being, having a human experience. No one. Not even yourself. Not even yourself. And if you still continue to shame yourself for the things that you've lived through, that's not you. That's a recording that's playing that you have internalized, that you have claimed ownership of. Those are not even your thoughts. Recognize that shit. And it's not that you have to delete the recordings. It's you have to become defiant to those recordings. You have to allow your defiance to rise up, because I promise you, within you is a king or queen of your auric kingdom, and no king or queen that I know would willingly bow down to an interloper. Nope, nope, nope. So stop falling for that bullshit line. Stop falling for it. Card number 4, Venus, love. So this card is telling me we need to really analyze the way we see ourselves, 4 being the number of self, okay? Venus, love. How do you love yourself? In what way do you love yourself? There's this really stupid ass teaching. I'm just 144. I love it. There is this really, really stupid ass teaching, okay? I'm just being extra real today. Stupid ass teaching regarding self-love. If you don't know how to love yourself, how do you expect other people to love you? Well, motherfucker, if I'd never learned how to properly love on human terms, how the fuck am I supposed to know how to love? So you're saying I never deserved love for the rest of my life because I never figured it out? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The truth of that self-love journey is simply realizing you need to begin that journey. You don't have to have mastered love in order to be worthy of love. Because you're here, because you breathe, because you were born, you deserve love. And there will be people who can love you regardless of your inability to love yourself. I'm living proof of this. I'm living proof of this. I'm not self-destructive, but I really had no idea of how to love myself in a way that was very loving until I met my husband. And that was a lot of our struggle with each other, where he couldn't understand why I couldn't allow myself to be loved. So that whole teaching of, you can't be loved unless you love yourself, that you this and that, like, no, no. There will be people who enter your life who will help you learn how to love yourself. And it's up to you if you're going to push them away. And you pushing them away, that's because you've bought into this stupid ass shit that until you learn to love yourself, you don't deserve to be loved. That's why. That's why. It's not because you don't deserve to be loved. It's because you bought into that bullshit and you keep driving away the very things that love you, the very people that love you unconditionally. Okay? Take ownership of what you're doing to yourself. Card number 9, assessing. It's time for you to really look at what this problem is. Well, what the problem is, really, really look at what it is you're experiencing. Half of it has some light, so you can kind of see with clarity. Kind of. It's a little bit obscured, but you can kind of see what's going on. The other half, just like that half moon, dang, it's hidden. It's hidden. And it's very difficult for people to allow themselves to recognize that they're only seeing half of what they need to see about themselves in their journey. Okay? It's very difficult. What do you mean, come on now? What do you mean, come on now? Hmm? What do you mean, come on now? Anyways, card number 8, choices. Okay. You make choices every day. Every single day you make choices. You own all of that. You own all of that. Okay. SET Elise, I'm sorry. I got a lot of hormones running through my veins. I said I'm intense today. Apologies. You make choices. Okay. You have to take ownership of those choices. You have to allow yourself to recognize if you have the power to make these decisions that totally screw up your whole day, that totally ruin your connections with other people, your potentiality, ruins everything, then you have the power to make decisions that repair all of that elevate you, that allow your abundance in, that allow you to live comfortably within your own existence, that allow you to just be with no shame, no guilt, none of that bullshit. So take ownership. That's why it's important for you to take ownership. Ownership is not about blaming. It's not about pointing the finger at someone else. You did this to me, and that's why I need to forgive you, and me forgiving you allows me to elevate myself. I can now say I've mastered. You haven't mastered shit. I ain't even gonna waste my time. You haven't mastered shit. All of us will have lived this entire life not really having mastered anything. We like to think we're going to master something, but we really don't. Even if you've reached highest levels of whatever it is field you work within, you every single field of field or industry is very limited. It really is. You know, science, look at science. We think we know everything. We really don't. Medicine, we think we know everything. We really don't. We really don't. And people think they've mastered something. You haven't mastered anything. That's the whole point of life. The moment you finally master this life is the moment you take your last breath. You're done learning. You're done learning. That's why you no longer have to be here. You're done learning. Okay? And that's it. That's it. You're done with this class, so you leave. You leave the body. You no longer need to be here. So stop trying to master something. Stop trying to earn a title for yourself. What's the title for? So other people can recognize what? It doesn't mean anything. Certificates, degrees, all of that, it doesn't mean anything. Like, to me personally, it doesn't mean anything. Show me your heart. Let me witness. Don't tell me. Let me witness your ability to love other people who could never repay you. Let me witness it. Show me with your actions, and simply allow your words to reiterate what I've already witnessed your hands doing for other people, so that I can see what you've mastered. That's deep. That's deep. I don't care how many letters you have behind your name. None of that matters to me. I don't care what tax bracket you're in. I don't care about any of that. I don't care what you can do for me. The only thing I care about is witnessing what you can do for the people who can't do anything back for you, who could never repay you, who could never, ever, ever even come close to repaying you. And if you can still count, if you still know how many people you've helped, if you can still remember what you've done for what person, you haven't helped enough. Keep going until it becomes such an intrinsic part of you and your truth that you don't consider it helping. You consider it living right. Not right as in, if people don't do this, they're wrong. I'm saying living right as in you are in perfect alignment with your heart, perfectly centered between your spiritual experience and your human one. Screw everyone else at this point. Whatever their opinions of you are, whatever they need you to be for them to further their own process, let them do that without you. Start really pulling back in and assessing your own life, your own decisions, what those decisions have done for you. Card number 18, Mosaic. Let chance play its creative role in your life. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to control the outcome of everything. Stop trying to dictate how things are supposed to go. Whatever your expectation is, that's fine, but understand your expectations will most likely not be in alignment with what your soul is planning for you. Okay? It most likely will not be in alignment, and you have to be okay with that. Because the only one that you're fighting is yourself. The only one that is actually dictating what's going on is your higher self. So allow your process. Allow your organic process. Card number 40, Sacred Fool. You are not playing a fool for anyone. Not even for that silly boy that's been hurting your feelings and you can't let go and he keep coming back because he is a twin flame. You know. Ooh, I said the T word. Anyways, your higher self is the one that is pulling the strings. Okay, it's your higher self. Stop trying to dictate how your life is supposed to go when your conscious mind really doesn't have any idea of what it is that you're supposed to be doing here. None of us have any idea of what we're here for. We can get, little tidbits, and those little tidbits are given to us by our higher selves to help guide us towards wherever it is we're supposed to go. I mean, do I know what I'm supposed to do? No, but I know I'm supposed to be freaking talking. Talking. Card number 11, flashover. It's all in your head. Well, shit. Okay. I could have sworn I just made that face. It's all in your head. Fuck you, Michael. Just saying. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry that I had to speak my truth and tell you to fuck yourself. I'm just saying. I didn't come here for this shit. Apparently I did. Watch how you talk to me through the cards, Michael. Watch how you talk to me through these cards. Okay. That's all in your head. It really is. That's the truth of it. It's all in your head. Whatever you think. It's just, I don't even need to explain this shit. It's all in your head. Card number 17, integrity. So here's the thing. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. I love this. 11, 18, 8, 9, 4, 40. I love this. So card number 17, integrity. Okay. 1 plus 7 is 8. This is card number 8, choices, mirroring. Allow your choices to always be infused with integrity. Okay. Your choices sometimes are based on a fear of being alone, a fear of not having a group or community to confirm how right or righteous you are. Eagles fly alone. Eagles, for the most part, fly alone. And really the only time, and I'm not an eagle expert, so if you're an eagle expert and you want to correct me, by all means, stroke your ego. Stroke your ego, eagle expert ego. Eagle expert ego. Wow. Your triple E. Stroke your triple E. Okay. Anyways, there's this come and go that is in Colorado, and there's an eagle that lives across the street from it. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's okay. Okay. Card number 8, choices. 1 plus 7, 17. 1 plus 7 is 8, integrity. Allow your choices to be infused with integrity. And if the most integrity-filled choice means going it alone, then by all means, go it alone. Do not be afraid of flying solo. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Ego is narcissistic. All of us have ego. All of us have varying degrees of narcissism. All of us. The whole self-love journey is narcissistic. Let that sink in. Card number 43, the unexpected. Ooh, there you go. There you go. If you're flying alone, then how are you supposed to do this? Well, if you look, there are two individuals. One stands tall and strong. The other one seems, tired. Seems like it needs support. What if this individual is your higher self and this one is your conscious mind? What if it's time for you to recognize your higher self has been your rock this whole time, and your inability to hear your higher self causes it to go ahead and find individuals outside of you who mirror your higher self's strength? When you say, so-and-so has been my rock, they've been there for me this whole time, they understand me, and blah, 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 blah. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe it's time for you to recognize that person as an external reflection of your higher self. And that's why you're so drawn to them. That's why they're able to support you in the ways they can while everyone else can't. Maybe we need to reconnect with our higher self. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe we need to begin realizing we've never really been walking this life alone. We've always had this higher aspect of our consciousness guiding us, holding our hand, carrying us through the most difficult times, sending the very people who reflect its strength to support us. What if it's that? What if it's that? Or I could be wrong. I could just make that up. I don't know. Card number 41, North Node, life's purpose. It's time for you to begin the journey, the adventure of rediscovering what your life purpose is. No one else is going to tell you this. People can try. I mean, just because someone said it, just because you asked a question of what's my life purpose and someone said it, doesn't mean it's your life purpose. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't mean it is your life purpose. A lot of people are so afraid of the unknown, that journey of self-realization, self-actualization, self-acceptance, that they're very quick to give someone else the power to dictate what their purpose is. Well, how the hell would I know? I might be given little tidbits of part of what your purpose is, but for you to give me the power to determine the trajectory of your life based off of what I said, I can make mistakes. I can misread. I can be ovulating and be full of hormonal bullshit. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. Hormones and caffeine. I'm emotional today. Card number 44, visions of life beyond death. Okay. I just need a collective hug right now. If all of you could just comment hug so that I know you've hugged me. I need to be cuddled. I'm just saying. It's a real need. It's a real need. I need some chapstick. I'm just saying. I'm feeling very needy today. I'm just saying. Nothing's happened. There's no drama. I just need a hug. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the hug. I can calm down now. Okay, card number 44, visions of life beyond death. You're needing to close your eyes to the fear, okay? Allow that feeling of fear to lead you to the places within your thoughts, within your experiences, within your emotions. These places have components of your lessons that you need in order to process what's going on. And really what's going on is as people watch you, this spiritual death and the death that you're experiencing, this spiritual or shamanic death, is really nothing more than one of your masks dying. It's a shedding process. You're shedding all the layers of you that are not in alignment with your truth. Just let that go. Let it go. It's going to help you find your true north, your direction, okay? There is protection. During this process, you are protected. It might feel like you're alone. It might feel like you're not being protected, that you've kind of been thrown off to the wolves. Recognize there's nothing to fear with the wolves. Wolves are loyal to their family. And what if what you've been thrown to, those wolves that you've been thrown to, are nothing more than your soul family? Okay, so this means your true north causes you to pass through your moon. The moon, lunar energy, is dark energy. That's yin energy. Lunar, yin, dark, negative charge. Look at teachings on negative and positive ions. Okay, that's feminine energy. Negative ions are very healing. They help the body to heal. They help the body to replenish, restore, rejuvenate. So it's through your darkness, your shadow, that you're going to grow. You're going to be reborn. Segments of your morphogenetic code are going to go active. You're going to receive messages from your higher self. These messages primarily have to do with you allowing yourself to have permission to be the peacock that you are. Shake that tail feather with no shame. You know, you don't have to be ashamed that you have elevated levels of something. You no longer have to be ashamed. This system, this paradigm, this matrix, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's all about shame and guilt. That's how they control. They shame you, they guilt you, they tell you by your birth you're flawed, you have sinned, you carry the sin of some Eve. I'm sorry, no. Take that bullshit somewhere else. So as you begin to just allow yourself to be, this is not something you're going to try to do. This is something you're going to allow. Huge difference. It's not something you're going to try to do. You're simply going to allow it. You're going to stop resisting. And as you do that, let them keep watching. Those hater ass bitches watch you anyways. Whether you're staying in line, whether you're not in line, they're just going to keep watching anyways. They're going to keep running their mouths, bumping their gums, talking their shit. And it's because they're full of shit that they talk so much shit. Okay? And that's okay. Got nothing to do with you. Any of the shit they fling into your field, that serves as fertilizer. That's it. Fertilizer. Let it grow the seeds. And now, as you get into that phase of accepting who you are, you enter a state of wisdom. Your wisdom comes back to you. The programming changes. Look at that. It looks like a motherboard. Your galactic program changes. Okay? Your galactic program changes. So, speaking of galactic, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Okay. And if it was avoidable, what are you going to do about it now that it's happened? Legit question. If it was avoidable, it's already happened. What are you going to do about it now? Because there's really no point in continuing to talk about problems without offering a solution. Logical debates are nothing more than a component of the separation paradigm. You can debate conspiracy, but can you conspire to solve issues? Let you know what. Let you know what. All right. Let me just get you guys your final messages. Good morning, Poet Lounge. All of us are narcissists. Every single last one of us. And those of us who fail to recognize our varying degrees of narcissism are martyrs. And martyrs are emotional manipulators. Bottom line. So what if I tell you this? You think they flew planes into buildings. What if I told you they used Project Bluebeam to make it look like a plane flew in, but they actually used a helicopter to send rockets into that shit? Get out of here. You think you know? No more. No more. Debates are bullshit. Debates are bullshit. Not the jet fuel did not take down those towers. Educate yourself. Watch the footage. That was a controlled demolition. When a building collapses into its own footprint, boom, 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 every single floor, booming, booming, booming as it goes, seeing the windows blow out, every single floor, one after the other, and the building falls down into itself. That is a controlled demolition. There were no planes. There were no planes. Exactly, loose change. Daddy, please take care of that. You know what? Fuck out of here. Okay, let's just clean this shit up. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Anyone else want to be removed? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mental illness is a joke. All right. Hold on. Okay. No, no, don't do it. Yeah. You see that? I MacGyvered the shit out of that right there. Yeah, you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand the history, my personal history. Just because I don't speak about truther type things doesn't mean I wasn't fully immersed my entire life, immersed in that subject matter for years. And I find it frustrating, probably because it is a reflection of a way that I used to be. And it still irritates me that it took me a while to realize how I was behaving in that time. It's not about the individual. It's about me processing who I was then before I shed that. So as I did all the research and became obsessed with truth, I then did what that individual was doing, where I would, you know, try and insert it into conversation and be like, you don't understand. This is what actually happened. And they're like, no, they said terrorists came and no, there, you have to see this and this and this and this and this and debate. We have to talk about this, talk. People don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. Okay. Same thing goes for spirituality. Whatever it is you think you've discovered about spirituality, about, this system, about the matrix, about governments, about this and that, and blah, 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 blah. You cannot bring a horse to water and shove its face in the water, forcing it to drink from a river, and then not understanding why the horse is fighting you because you're trying to drown it. That's not a show of elevated intelligence. That is not respectful of other people's sovereignty. It's not. If you want to show how evolved you are, then you're not very evolved still. And this is not me trying to say I'm above you. This is me sharing with you what I've learned. When I finally reached a certain level of evolution, internal personal evolution, I realized I no longer needed to be so external about my process, where there's a time and a place for me to share in a respectful way what I've discovered for myself and be open to receiving information from the other person. Okay? So it's time to release. It's time to release the need to forgive. the need to forgive other people. If you really, really have to participate in the whole forgiveness process, forgiveness program, learn to forgive yourself for everything that you've allowed, everything that you didn't quite understand as it was happening. And so you didn't realize you had the power and the authority to stop participating in whatever that circumstance was. Take your power back. Stop waiting for other people to give you permission to heal yourself, to move forward from events, to finally close certain chapters of your life. Okay? And you have to be patient with this process. You just have to be patient. And one of the most difficult things when you're impatient is trying to be patient. And that's okay. That's okay. It's a part of you that's learning to still mature. We're not all at the same level. We're not all supposed to be at the same level. Some of us go through these lessons earlier than others, not because we're better, not because we are more able, not because we're smarter, but because we have promised to come into this life in a service capacity. Are you okay? Sorry. We've come into this life in a helper, assistant capacity. We're here to assist other people in their process. And one of the most powerful ways to prepare you for that role of assisting other people, helping, facilitating, is to have you experience it first. So that's all it is. And you have to give yourself enough love and space to process the events of your life in whatever way you need, whatever way fits. It's okay. It's okay to not be at the same level as someone else. That level is for them. Let me give you an example of why it's so silly to even compare to anyone else, okay? So whatever your thoughts are on what you've witnessed me doing energetically in a public way, because a lot of people are like, oh, you have so many abilities, you're so strong, and that's just weird. But people have this perception of I've developed so much and I'm so far beyond, anything they've ever seen. If I'm going to be truthful, the amount of ability and power that I am allowing myself to harness, consciously use, is probably, I would guesstimate, like 15% of my true capacity. It's just a little tiny bit of what I can actually do. So if I tell someone, yeah, I function at maybe about 15% of my consciousness, and you're functioning at like 75%, does that make you any better? I don't know. What's your 75% mean? What are you here for? So does that even compare? No, it doesn't. If you're functioning at 75% and you're here to assist two people, how does that compare if I'm functioning at 15% and I'm here to help the globe? It doesn't. So why compare? Whether it's two people or the globe, two people matter just as much as the rest. So just focus on what you're here for. Focus on growing yourself. Stop comparing. Stop using other people's development or lack thereof to further perpetuate the disharmonic recording that you keep playing in your mind, because it doesn't help you. It doesn't help anyone. It really just doesn't. It doesn't. I'm no better than you. I'm no more important than you. We're all in this shoulder to shoulder. There is no one thread that's more important than the other threads in the grand tapestry of life. There isn't. One thread gets pulled, the whole tapestry is screwed. It doesn't matter who the thread is. We're all interwoven. We're all here creating something together with the perception of separateness. That's all it is. An individuated experience is nothing more than our perception. The apartheid filters outside of our auric field, filtering the experiences to give us the impression that we're separate. Are we really separate? We're not. We're not. That's what empathy is. Empathy is when people's apartheid filters are calibrated in such a way that it allows more of the group consciousness to be experienced, to be felt. That's why I can feel you and you can feel me. Okay? So really, when I fight with you, I'm really fighting with myself. You guys saw me getting snarky with whoever that was, talking about 9/11. Yeah, because I'm fighting with myself. The self that was deep into that. I'm not fighting with that individual. I'm fighting with the reflection of myself that I haven't reconciled yet. Eventually, I'll reconcile it. Eventually, you won't trigger me to see aspects of how ugly I used to behave. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? So you guys, give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Join me. Bye, guys.